The 50th day of Sfirat HaOmer, we count 49 days. The 50th day is a Yom Tov. It's a day on which there are Isurei Melacha. There are prohibitions against doing certain kind of labor. The prohibitions are not as severe as Shabbat, of course, since we can cook on that day and prepare food, but still, most of, or many of the other prohibitions that exist on Shabbat also exist on the day called Chag Shavuot. In the Torah, this name is not given to the holiday. There is no mention of a holiday called Shavuot, and there is also no connection, necessary connection, between the 50th day of the Omer and the day of Matan Torah. Now, the day of Matan Torah itself is a machloket in the Gemara. It's disputed whether it happened on the 6th day of Sivan or the 7th day of Sivan. Also, there's no way to know if the 6th day of Sivan comes out on the 50th day of the Omer in a particular year or not. Because between the first day of Sfirat HaOmer and the 50th day of Sfirat HaOmer, there are 2 months that begin with a Rosh Chodesh, Iyar and Sivan. And there's no way to know, in theory, whether the Rosh Chodesh will be 2 days or the Rosh Chodesh will be 1 day. They can both be 2 days, they can both be 1 day, they can be one of them 2 days or one of them 1 day, and therefore there's no way to ensure Me'ikar Hadin that the day called Zman Matan Toratenu, the time that the Torah was given, will come out on Vav Sivan, which is the holiday that comes in the Torah at the end of the counting of the Omer. That being said, it's important to remember that the calendar that we use, the intercalated calendar, which has a 19-year cycle, is made such that these 2 days will always coincide. The day Vav Sivan, which is the day that we assume the Torah was given, even though I told you that it's a machloket in the Gemara, with the 50th day of Sfirat HaOmer. So that day has these 2 natures. It's on the one hand a day of Isur Melacha. It's a day that we cannot do most of the labors that we are prohibited from doing on Shabbat, Isur Melacha. And it's a day where we recognize and remember Matan Torah. It's a special day. It's the day of Matan Torah. These 2 days are connected, of course, in the Midrash, that receiving the Torah had to be a waiting period, and had to build up to it. But as I say, there is no necessary connection between the calendar day, the 6th of Sivan, and the 50th day of Sfirah. These 2 days do not have to come at the same time. But in our world, the world we've lived in for, say, almost 2,000 years, these days were always celebrated at the same time. So the 50th day of the Omer is always Zman Matan Toratenu.